What's up, PropMob? Today we are corpsing a bat using one of those dollar store skeleton bats. And I decided to corpse it because I wanted another specimen for my specimen wall that is made up of all the stuff that we made in this channel. So we made a fairy that is mummified. This is going to be a mummified bat. I have made some moths and some caterpillars. I'm going to do a mummified bat. You could do it like mummified or taxidermy, which doesn't look mummified, it looks like it's alive, or you can do like a zombie bat. I have elected to do a mummified one, so it's dried up and it looks just like this. And it has this really cool rubbery wings, as you can see. And it looks like it's ready to be put on the barbecue, or it already came out of the barbecue, who knows. But that's what we're making today, so let's get started. For this tutorial, I'm using a bat skeleton. I got this skeleton from the dollar store for $1. So when I saw it for $1, I couldn't pass it up, so I got it. But then everybody else got it for $1 and everybody had bats hanging. So I decided to make this one a little bit different and stand out. So we're going to mummify it. There's going to be two main parts to this tutorial. One is the wings and one is the body. The body, we're going to corpse it normally, and for the wings I'm going to use liquid latex. If you're allergic to liquid latex, to latex in general, or have a sensitivity to it, then I made a fairy, a mummified fairy using trash bags, and that tutorial is linked below, so you could do the wings that way if you cannot use latex. But for this little guy here, I'm going to use latex. For this first step, I'm going to take a smooth surface, which is the back of this tray. I'm going to get my liquid latex and some food coloring and a cup. I'm going to pour some liquid latex in the cup. I'm going to put a few drops of each color to make it into like a dark brown. So about that much liquid latex, maybe to the first line, and then about 2 or 3 drops of each until it gets like a dirty brown black color. That's looking nice and gross. So I'm just going to turn this around so you can see it, but I'm taking this brush and I'm going to put a very thin layer of liquid latex all the way to the edges. Try to keep the layer as thin as possible and instead do many thin layers than one thick one. Just make sure it's wide enough to fit the wings. So maybe I should go a little bit further out, just about a half inch here on the edges. And you can speed up the drying with a hairdryer. So you can see this turned out darker than it originally was. That layer is almost dry. I just have this little edge to do, so I'm just going to put another layer. This time I'm going to go this way, just in case I missed something going across. And I'm going to do 3 thin layers. I think that's enough for this project. The second layer is dry. I'm going to put a third layer, set it to dry by itself without help from the hairdryer, so we can start working on this guy. Now this guy, as you can see, it has its wings just spread wide open. What I want to do is I'm going to hang it upside down and I'm going to have the wings close in on itself. So first thing I'm going to do is corpse the body. So these wings on this particular one, they pop off just like that and like that. So put those aside. I'm going to corpse the body and the legs up to like here. And then the head, we know that ears don't have bones in them, so I'm going to have to paint this black. I'm going to paint the whole thing, but I'm also going to paint the teeth white. I'm going to use some clear drop cloth from the dollar store that I'm going to stain black after we are done. I'm also popping off the head. For the legs, what I figured out works real well is, do you see these, they're like food service industry gloves. They're just cooking gloves. They have them at the dollar store, and I got these at my grocery store. It's less than $2 for 100 of them. I'm just going to take one and take the two most consistently shaped fingers, which are these two, and we're going to cut them out and make some pants for this guy. You can go real high up if you want, make the pants really long. It'll help you glue it a little bit better. So that is a pair of pants for this guy. What you have to do is put his legs in, and we're getting ready to corpse. This guy will be ready to have some nice meaty legs. These pants are on, and you can take this excess, just tuck it in, and then we can glue it over here to the back as well. I also took a little piece of that drop cloth from the dollar store so that we can wrap this guy up. Now the trick for corpsing, so it looks pretty cool, is to corpse each layer separately. If you put too many layers together, only the outside one will shrink, and it will just crumple the inside ones. And to get the inside ones hot, you're going to have to melt the outside one all the way. So we're going to corpse one at a time with our trusty heat gun. First thing I'm going to do is anchor the pants, just by putting a little drop of hot glue right here. Just like that, and the other side as well. Now we take the heat gun. Be careful not to burn yourself. That's looking pretty cool there, so you have some meat on the legs. When we're all done, then we'll cut this so that we can hang the bat from something, but for now that works cool. Got some nice tight area here. Now let's wrap the bat, but remember, one wrap at a time. Corpse it, another wrap, and decide how many wraps you want. You can also hold the heat gun on different spots if you want to have little holes that let you see the bones inside, or the ribs or something else. I'm going to start with a little strip of plastic, and I'm going to glue it to the back, to the neck as well. Alright, that's looking good. Let's wrap this one time and glue it again right here. Just a little drop right there and there. You can pull it tight if you want, or let the glue, the heat gun do its job. So wrap it again. And let's stick this last piece here. This guy is beautifully corpsed. It has some like sinewy pieces. It has some holes, like that one. Those two right there. Here in the middle, in the sternum, there's some. And you can still see the bones, and you can just cut pieces out to see the bones. Let's get this guy stained. For this next step, I'm going to use this wood stain. It's like gray, so it matches the color of a bat better. If it gets too gray or too black, I'm going to add maybe some brown stain, but for now I'm going to start with this one. and an old chip brush. But I throw this away after we're done. And we definitely need gloves for this. Alright, let's open this. And we're just going to stain the whole body of the bat. Now we're going to take some paper towels and we are going to gently rub off the excess stain from the bat. And if you want those bones to show up, that's where you rub it real well there, so that the bones with the bone color show up. This works well for a mummified type bat. That is looking nice and crunchy there. So let that sit and dry all the way. In the meantime, we can do the same with his head. Here again, we're going to just rub the excess off. On the head, I'm very gently rubbing it off, because if you do it a little too aggressively, you end up back to the bone look. That looks pretty cool. So I'm going to set that to dry with the body. Well, those things are drying. We're going to work on the wings. And like I said, I want them to close in. So we're going to do that with my Dremel tool. I'm going to make some cuts, bend them a little bit, and add some glue in the joints. I have this 2 types of glue here, and that's just to reinforce these things when we make them, when we fold them in. I am using this square bit because it cuts through plastic like it's a knife through hot butter, or a hot knife through butter, just like that. I'm basically making the joint here a little bit bigger and then bending the wing. That will now bend inwards, and we can put the glue right there. Taking some of this thick super glue or CA glue, putting it inside of the cut, and closing the wing where I want it. And you can hold this in place with some rubber bands if you want. I'm going to finish cutting these, put them in the shape that I want, and let the glue dry like that. Might need some tape or rubber bands to hold it in the angle that you want. The tape is holding that at an angle. If you remember, this was perfectly flat. Now it's bent. Right, these guys are bent. Let it dry, and then we move on to the other joints. These guys are dry. The glue on this wings is set. I let it dry overnight, and now I just got home from work, so the only thing we need to do is get into some more appropriate clothes. Much better. I'm going to carefully take the tape off of these wings. See that? That is nice and curved, it's nice and solid. Alright, that is awesome. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the latex. This is nice and cured, it's been sitting there overnight. But I'm going to put some baby powder on it so it doesn't stick onto itself and is easier to handle. I'm going to start pulling this, and I'm going to be putting some some of this baby powder under it as well. There you go. It's a nice little sheet of latex, and it's super stretchy. So this powder will fall off. You can wipe it off and you get that dark color again. We're just using a lot of powder now so it doesn't stick onto itself. Right, set this aside. Now it's time to start assembling this guy. So first thing I'm going to do is put his head back on. His head and pop it back on. There you go. Now what does he need? Wings. He needs wings. Right, let's get started with the wings. And those also pop here in the back. So I'm going to have to cut the holes back again. That wing is in. Now let's do the other one. And we can get started putting this over the wings. I have popped the wings back in now that they have that shape. And as you can see, they're not going straight out. They're nice and curled in. So when he hangs, it'll be more of a 3D look than a flat look. Now let's get the wings on. So what I'm going to do here is just put some glue along this edge, and I'm going to glue the latex over here and wait till that sets, and then just pull it a little bit, and we'll go all the way around until this side. Then we can trim around it. I'm going to run a bead all the way along the inside of the wing. And now just gently going to fold the latex over it. We can trim the excess later. Let that dry. That first one is totally dry, so now I'm going to apply glue to every single one of these bones and just stretch the latex just a little bit and glue it on top. And carefully put it over the wing. Stretch it. And glue it onto the next bone, which is right there. See the bone sticking out there? That's where we just put the glue. Right, let's do that all the way across. This whole wing is almost done, so I'm going to put glue here around the shoulder bone and the middle of the back, and also down the back all the way. See the shoulder bone there, and then the wing comes out there. So that is looking great. Just hold it in place while the glue sets. Doesn't take long. And the latex will take the cool shape of the bone. And it's kind of translucent, so you can kind of see the bone, which is cool too. So that's done. The only thing that I got is from the tray. I got this little IKEA mark, which I think is pretty cool. But you shouldn't be able to see it when we're done. So I'm going to do the same on this wing. So no mystery, I'm just going to keep pulling and gluing all the way around. Make sure we cover the whole bone structure. This guy is ready for trimming. So get some sharp scissors, and we're going to trim around the wings. On these areas, like here where the bone is, or here, we're going to leave a little extra wing to fold over the bone and glue it there so it looks like the skin covers the bone. I'm leaving a little bit extra just in case we need to make some adjustments. That's looking great. I'm going to take all these loose pieces and just start stretching them and gluing them onto the wings and the legs. I'm going to start folding these pieces over the bone. I finished trimming the wings on this. As you can see, I kind of trimmed around the edges and everything. And I like how it looks so far. Feels awesome. But I think there's too much contrast between the wings and the bones, and the wings are a little too light. So I'm going to give it a coat of black latex paint. This is just regular latex paint and liquid latex. So I'm going to put some liquid latex in a cup, tint it with a little bit of this, and then just dab it inside and out, and that will blend some of these areas. Also, it'll patch some of the parts where it hasn't stuck all the way, and it'll hide this IKEA logo as well. I'm just doing a very thin coat. It's just kind of tinting the latex and maybe blending some areas. As you can see, that IKEA logo is gone, and this won't dry gray, this will dry black. That is looking awesome, and as you can see, it has like a really cool texture. You see that right there? Almost looks like a real wing. So this will continue to dry, and I'm going to do the inside now. So same thing here, just dab your latex in there. The dabbing is what gives it that cool texture that looks like real skin. This guy is almost dry. Final touches. This is white nail polish. It's kind of like a bone color. I'm just going to paint the teeth. Now, if you're making a zombie bat, you can add blood here or something like that. That is 100% up to you. That looks good. Just wipe the excess off here with my finger. All right. Let's go hang this guy. So I'm just plugging my little rig. And we're plugging this here, see if it works. It's spinning. All right, so put the bat now. It's a stormy day, you can hear that, huh? There's the bat. Screw over loop, and let's plug it and see how it works. There you go. That's pretty cool. Now, if you think this is an awesome tutorial, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and push that button, and I will see you next time. I'm Eduardo Talbert, this is Monster Tutorials, and you and me are the Prop Mob.